Hey guys, it's Nonvgs, and today we're going to be ranking every single gun that is in DayZ. Before we get into this, keep in mind this is just my opinion, so if you have a different opinion, please comment it, and just let me know why you think differently. This list starts with the pistols, then it goes down to shotguns, then it goes down to ARs, then it goes down to rifles, and then it goes down to guns that don't really fit in a category like the crossbow, the flare gun, the grenade launcher. But anyways guys, let's get into it. First, let's start off with the IJ-70. I think this is a good gun for the coast. Once you're inland, this is just not a good choice. Unless you have a suppressor so you can take out zombies. Takes 380 ACP, does a decent amount of damage, but not a lot. I'm gonna give this a solid C tier. I just feel like it has some sort of legendary status within the game, and it's good for, you know, being a coast spawn. Next up, we have the Glock. I feel like this is an automatic B tier. I don't think I can really put most of these pistols in A tier, but I think it deserves B tier. It's one of the best pistols in the game. It can take the mini sights, takes 9mm, and you can find it pretty commonly at police stations. Next up, we have the Mark II. I think this deserves a solid C tier. Doesn't do a lot of damage to, you know, players and stuff, but you can certainly use this to take out zombies since it does have a built-in suppressor, and you can find it literally everywhere on the map. Next up, we have the P1. I can't put this in F because even the worst guns in DayZ don't really deserve F. So I'm gonna have to put it in D. If you know why, like low magazine size, and like I'd rather take like a CR75 or a Glock or even an IJ over this thing. Next up, we have the CR75. I think this also deserves B tier. It's right up there with the Glock. They're pretty similar in statistics too, and you can find the CR75 more commonly, I'm pretty sure. Colt 1911. This is gonna have to get a solid C tier. This is like what I find every time I go to tier 2 by Lota Airfield, west of Chernogorsk. Like, it's good if like you don't have anything else, but compared to the other 45 ACP gun, which is the FX45, I think, it's nothing. 7 rounds just isn't a lot of ammo. Same with the engraved Colt, just the same gun, more rare for whatever reason. FX45, easily B tier. It holds more rounds than the, whatever this is called again, Colt 1911. Holds 15 rounds. You can put mini sights on it, suppressor. I don't know, I think it's just better in every way. The Derringers, they do a lot of damage, but they don't have quite a bit of range. I want to give it C tier. I feel like someone in the comments is gonna like say that it's B or some shit due to how small it is, but I'm gonna give it D tier. It does a lot of damage, but the range, like the fall off from how far you can hit someone and actually deal a lot of damage, not good. And it only takes 2 shots. The revolver, easily A tier. This is one of the only pistols that I think deserves A tier. Does a lot of damage, like 65, I think. Doesn't jam. Takes 6 rounds, I'm pretty sure. Just legendary. The snub nose revolver. It just has less damage and range. I'm gonna give this B tier. The Longhorn. It does take a scope. Let me think. It does take a scope. But it only takes 1 shot of 308, but it does deal 110 damage. I'm gonna put it in C. You can certainly kill someone with that. The Deagle, B tier, takes the same ammo and does almost the same, I'm pretty sure around the same damage as the revolver, but with the revolver, or not with the revolver, but with the Deagle, you have to find a magazine for it, and it can jam, unlike the revolver. Now on to the SMGs. Scorpion, pretty solid in my opinion. I'm gonna have to give it C tier, just kind of low magazine size. The fire rate, which is like 900 RPM, does a decent amount of damage, and you can find it at police stations, so you can certainly light someone up. Next up, we have the MP5. I'm also gonna have to give this C tier. Keep in mind, guys, just because a gun is in the same tier doesn't mean that it's equal to another gun or anything. Like for instance, you see like B tier, like the Deagle might not be equal to the Glock. The Deagle could be better than the Glock. It's just in B tier because I don't feel like it fits, you know, the next tier above or below. Bison, it does have 64 rounds. I'm gonna put it also in C tier. Same with the USG. I just feel like the SMGs are just kind of underwhelming. Maybe I could put the MP5 higher because it does deal like, or it does have a way faster fire rate than both of these guns here. But I think I'm gonna keep it in C tier because I just don't feel like it's B tier worthy. Next up, we have the Vicker. Now, I think this gun is B tier worthy. It is an assault rifle, but they classify it as an SMG, I guess due to its size or whatever. And it does 75 damage, which is the same as the VSS and ASVAL. 900 RPM, just crazy gun. Takes 30 round mag. Next up, we have the shotguns. Let me get to thinking. BK12. I feel like it's not quite C tier due to having one shot, but it could knock someone out. I'm gonna say C tier, but really leaning towards D tier, because you could get someone on the coast with that. You can even knock out like a geared player. Sawed off BK, D tier. The damage just drops off whenever you saw off a gun. It does save space, but I don't think it's worth it. Next up, we have the BK-43. Easily B tier. You can put it on double shot and blast someone's shit right down. It's one of my favorite shotguns, if not my favorite shotgun. Sawed off, C tier. BK-133. I'm gonna put it in high C tier. You might think I'm crazy for putting a pump action shotgun lower than a double barrel, but every time I've used this gun, for whatever reason, it just doesn't want to pump, and I'm not really in tune, or I'm not like trying to fucking have to spam R just to pump my shotgun back every shot. The amount of times, I don't know, I just don't really like this gun. Baiga, B tier, just automatically. The amount of times I've got my shit blasted from like a mile away with this thing and somehow died to it instantly is crazy. Fully automatic shotgun does not, there's no competition with this and all these other shotguns really, other than the fact that it can jam. Next up we have the assault rifles. FYI, I fucking hate this gun. The mini AK easily deserves a C tier. Yes, you can put a 45 round mag in it. Yes, you can put a 30 round mag in it. Yes, it takes 5.54 by 39 or whatever. But it only does 65 damage, which is really low. 10 lower than the Vicar, in fact, and this only has like a 600 and something RPM. Just crazy recoil, not good damage compared to the other assault rifles, so I think it deserves C tier. Now the big AK, specifically the AK-74, high B tier, really good, really common. Wait, actually, let me slow my boat here. Let me move these around. I think this should deserve lower B tier, somewhere around here. And this should deserve A tier. I forgot how much damage this does exactly, maybe around 80 in the game, I don't know. But way more stable recoil, just a way better long-ranged weapon. I mean, more mid-range actually, but it has longer range than the mini AK. But I don't think it fits S tier. I've seen people say S tier, but like, I think that is a little absurd in my opinion. I don't see how this could ever deserve S tier, because there are just so many other rifles and they just outperform this in every way. But good A tier gun to me. KA-101, instantly above these, instantly above the AK-74. Does way more damage, takes 5.56, so if you're on Livonia, you're in luck if you have this. Unfortunately on Chernarus, they moved this out of the tier 4 at Tizzy and Tricresta, and they put it over in the, what are they called? The dynamic events, such as the heli crashes and the military convoys. But same fire rate as the other AK, like around 600, 650 I think. But the fact that this does 96 damage is pretty good. Or I'm pretty sure that does 96 damage. I don't know. I'm not checking. The KAM, I want to put it in S because of the magazine size. And because it's regarded as one of the best rifles. But just because of the magazine size, I'm going to put it in S. But just know it leans more towards A, especially if you don't even have the 75 round magazine for it. But it does deal a decent amount of damage with the 7.62s. And it does spawn a tier 4 Tizzy on Chernarus. Next up, we have the ASFAL. I'm gonna give this B tier, just due to the fact it does do 75 damage and it does have longer range than the Vicar. Same fire rate, I'm pretty sure. But unfortunately, the bullet, the bullet velocity or speed is just so slow. For me, I'm not really like the ultra experienced with this rifle, so I never found it to be useful. But in close quarter combat, it is really good and it's quiet since, you know, it has a fucking integral suppressor on it. Next up, we have the AUR-1. I used to not like this gun. I used it once. And in terms of damage and magazine size and all that, it's pretty close to the AK-101, I mean. But it does have a scope that you can't remove or replace or anything. So I'm gonna give this low A tier. The AUR S tier, automatically 175, or not 75, my bad. 107 damage, 600 RPM, I'm pretty sure. And can take up to the 60 round standardized mag and this, what's that one suppressor called? I think the normalized suppressor. I don't know, you'd have to correct me on that one. Just a go-to gun. Pretty sure this spawns at the gas zones on Chernarus. Okay. Next up we have the Lamaze, FAMAS, whatever. I'm gonna give this, I think this fits in low A tier pretty good. I don't want to say B tier, because it's not even near these other guns. But it does deal 107 damage, and I'm pretty sure it has the highest DPS in the game. Because it has the same fire rate as the M4, but deals quite a bit more damage. Unfortunately, you can saw off this handlebar up here, but you can't put a scope on it. Also, you can find it at like heli crashes, I'm pretty sure on Chernarus. Not sure about the other, well, on Livonia you can actually find it tier 2 and tier 3, if you didn't know. So it's pretty common there, and that's where it's best probably. M16, put it mid A tier. I kind of suck with it, but it does deal like 107 damage, just as the AUG and the Lamaze with the 5.56. You could put a 60 round mag in this. I feel like that's a little awkward though. Can't put scopes on it though. Can't saw off the handlebar either, so you just gotta stick with it. M4, automatic S tier. This is probably the best gun, no matter what you say. I think statistics do not lie. You can put scopes on it. You can literally change out all these parts. You can put a 60 round mag on it. What else? 900 RPM, I'm pretty sure. 96 damage as well, or 94, I forgot. I think the KEM's 94, but this is 96. The M4 is 96. Just easily the best gun on any map. You can find it in the gas zones on Shannara's. For Sakal, I think it's in those containers. And for Livonia, it's, honestly, I think it's also in the gas zone for Livonia. Next up, we have the LAR. I'm gonna give this lower S tier. To me, I've always used it like a DMR that does lower damage, and it does have lower recoil than the DMR, but it, you know, once again, does less damage. You can put the Western scopes on it. Takes 308, 20 round mags, and what else? Oh yeah, it spawns over in the gas zone on Shannara, so I'm not sure about the other maps. I literally play Shannara every day. Support a 22. Every time I've used this gun, if I didn't hit a perfect headshot, it's basically me just lighting them up just for them to bleed a little, then run away from me, and I just kind of wasted my ammo. If you're on the coast and you have decent aim, I think this is a decent choice, like for maybe killing a fresh spawn. But anywhere inland, like, you might as well drop that. SSG. I feel like this is a rifle that is actually pretty underrated. I'm gonna give it high C tier. You can find this at police stations, and it takes 5.54 by 39. It does like 110 damage, I'm pretty sure, and it comes with a built-in scope. So it's basically like all you need, and you can find the magazines at the police station. So I mean, it's a pretty good like all-in-one gun. Pioneer. I'm gonna give this B tier. It's a little harder to find than the SSG. You need a scope for it. You also do need a mag. But I think you can find this at the police situations on Shannara's. But I'm gonna rearrange this actually. I don't like how this is looking. I'm gonna put these bottom B tier. Because I feel like they're B tier because they're pistols, but like just seeing them up next to these guns and these guns, I don't know, it just feels a little awful. BK-18, low C tier, it does do a great deal of damage, but if your opponent has like a plate carrier or even a stab vest, you might be cooked, especially in close quarter, because it takes 7.62, but it only can take one bullet at a time, so that kind of sucks. Sawed off BK, yeah, no. This is just straight garbage. CR75, I'm gonna put this somewhere here in B tier. It's nowhere near as good as the Tundra, the CR550, or the Mosin or VS89, but I mean, it does take a hunting scope and easy to find ammo, so I mean, that's a plus. It does take 7.62. Next up, we have the Blaze. I'm giving this A tier. If you don't use the Blaze on double shot, the damage is actually kind of lower than these other rifles. It only does 143 compared to the other rifles, such as the Tundra, which do like 150. So from a certain range, that damage drop off might not even knock your opponent out. So keep in mind, always just put this on double shot. But it does take the hunting scope, and you can find this at hunting stands and just what are they called? Those hunting lodges, you know what I mean? Those campgrounds. Next up, we have the sawed off Blaze. I don't even know what to say about this. I've never even used this. I'm just gonna put it down here in B tier somewhere because like it's a sawed off Blaze. I don't know why anyone would saw their Blaze off. Kind of just ruins it. Tundra, S tier. It's the Tundra. Come on, guys. It takes 5 rounds of 308. Hunting scope. You can find it at hunting places. And let me think. Yeah, it just deals a great amount of damage. Pretty good. Next up, we have the CR550. I prefer the CR550 over the Tundra, even though it does have more recoil and you need a mag for it. But if you do find a mag for this, then I mean, you don't have to stop and reload like you have to do with the Tundra, where you have to stop and feed each bullet into it. But I just prefer this more. I could see y'all easily putting the Tundra over the CR550, but that's just my opinion. They take the same ammo, do the same damage, but if I'm not wrong, the CR550 has way more recoil. Like, you shoot it and it'll jerk up to the right a little, so it's harder to reposition your shot. The Mosin, I'm gonna put that in S tier, right? Oh shit. I'm gonna put that in S tier, but it is lower than these other guns, keep in mind, because it does less damage. They nerfed the Mosin, if you didn't know. They nerfed its damage and accuracy a little, and the scope. I'm not a big fan of that scope either, but it's slightly lower than these. Sawed-off Mosin, fucking atrocious, B. VS89. VS89, I'm gonna easily put over here in S tier. Just slightly above the Mosin. It does take the Western scopes. It does take 7.62 by 39. On top of that, 10 round magazine. You can find it on Shannars pretty easily at like tier 3 locations and tier 4. And it has more accuracy and more damage than the Mosin. DMR, it goes right up there by the M4. This thing is semi-auto, does crazy damage. You can find it at heli crashes and military convoys on Shannars. 20 round magazine of 308. One of the craziest guns they added here within the past like year or two. I'm not sure. I kind of lost track of when it's released, but it's easily up there with the M4. The SKS. I'm gonna put this somewhere towards the bottom of A. I really like this gun, but unfortunately only takes 10 bullets of 7.62, so it's not fully auto or anything. You can't put a magazine in it, and it takes the PSU scope, same as the Mosin over here. So it's a decent mid-range weapon, but I just don't think it comes close to the fully automatic weapons, unfortunately. VS89, not VS89, my bad, VSD, I think, SVD. This goes, I'm gonna put it somewhere over here by the AKM. Actually, wait a minute, why is this here? That is not supposed to be an S tier, that's the AK-74. What is it called? The SVD, VST, I don't know, I forget which one is the real life name for it. Pretty solid. I just don't like the fact that the scopes need a battery, unlike the ACOGs, and the Russian scopes or Eastern scopes do have less range on them. But I don't think this deserves to be locked away in the gas zone when you can literally get the DMR from heli crashes and it's easily available, which the DMR in my opinion is just way better than the SVD. But I hear people make the argument that the SVD, since it takes an actual metal suppressor, which the DMR doesn't, that it's better. But I don't think a suppressor is going to change my opinion on the fact that the DMR takes more rounds. It does, pretty sure, more damage. VSS, where's that gun at? Where's its counterpart? Am I blind? I just seen it. There it is. Anyways, I put this before the S-Val. It's decently common on Zakal, and I don't know, I rarely find this on Shannars. Same stats as the S-Val, but it takes the Eastern scopes, which in my opinion are just all around worse than the Western scopes. The grenade launcher, I'm gonna put this in low S tier. If you've ever used it, you can use it for base rating, so that's pretty good. And I mean, it does have like a crazy damage radius and shit. Like I've been sniped by this thing before. That's how crazy it is. You can also find it at military convoys and heli crashes on Shannars. Next up, the flare gun. Right where it belongs. This thing, I don't know why you'd need to use a flare gun unless you're like doing some weird roleplay shit on DayZ, like a community server perhaps or something, I don't know. Crossbow, it is sneaky, but it is large, so you have to have it on your back. You can't even stash this in your inventory. It takes up like 46 slots, I think, 40 something, 42, I don't know. It takes bolts, does a great amount of damage. It is quiet. You can load one at a time, but the range on a moving target and the velocity of the arrows or bolts or whatever is really bad. And most of these guns I'd rather have over this. So I think I'm gonna put this over here in C tier. I'm sorry if y'all like the crossbow. For all you hunters out there and people who like sit in a bush in a ghillie suit, it is a good weapon, but I don't think it competes with all these other ones up here. Next and last, we have the repeater carbine. There's not too much to say about this. It's a lever action semi-automatic 357 rifle. It does deal like 65 damage and I think slightly more shock damage, which is just enough to knock someone out in one hit. Keep in mind, you do have to be within a certain range to even knock them out with that hit and hit them chest level most likely, or in the head, if they have a helmet. But, I'm gonna put it somewhere over here. Yeah, above these. Also, I don't know why this tier list is doing this, but I did not put the Viga down here at all. I'm gonna put it somewhere up, where did I have this shit? I don't know why they had to move it. I think it was up here. Before I end the video, I'm gonna do one check to make sure all the guns are where they were, because I just noticed that it kind of misplaced the playstat right there. Yeah, guys, I think this looks like a pretty good list. Let me know what you changed. This is just my thinking, my opinion, my reasons, because I do play the game a decent. Just put down your opinion if you think my opinion's wrong or something. Just put down a comment on like what you would change about this list. But I think this list is pretty good. I'm not going too in depth with each gun. Some of these guns can be right on the line of another tier. Just, I don't know, comment your opinion and what you change about this list. Anyways, you know, like and subscribe, obviously. But yeah, that's all.